What's up, YouTube? It's your boy RushMoreRick. We're back with another reaction video. The problem with tipping culture. Let's tap in.
Hey, bro, what do you want, bro? What do you want? I paid for my food. I paid for my food. What are you talking? Why are you following me down the street? You need to get the fuck back. You need to get back. Why are you following me?
What are you gonna do? My nigga, I promise you, if I was to visit an establishment and I pay for, you know what I'm saying, I pay for what I gotta pay for. Nothing, no more, no less. You know what I'm saying? And you're following me down the street because I didn't tip you, and you're talking about what are you gonna do? My nigga, we wouldn't even have got down the street. I'm handling you as soon as I see that you talking to me as I'm leaving. I'm handling you right then and there because you're not about to follow me down the street talking about what are you gonna do? You get close to me, what are you gonna do? You're not going in my phone and you're not tipping yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tipping you, so what are you trying to get out of this? That nigga would have got handled immediately.
So the guy recording the video apparently went to this restaurant. He ordered himself a nice $25 meal, and after receiving his food, apparently he didn't tip. He ends up leaving the restaurant, and the restaurant owner / manager follows him, upset that he didn't tip.
Call 911. Call 911 if you need to settle something. You know who to call?
Like sir, you're who's watching your business? You're following me to try to get a tip that you know that you're not gonna. Who's watching your business? Why are you leaving your establishment to come bother me about a tip? Why are you doing that? This is unnecessary.
They're over here. Let's go. I know them. I'm okay. Go tell them. You go tell them. Then you wait here. I'll call. You go tell them. You go tell them. I paid for my food. I handed you $20. You can't charge me more than what the menu say. No. So what are you talking about? Bro, I'm not legally required to give you a fucking tip. Get the fuck back.
The guy recording the video starts getting super defensive, and I mean rightfully so, because he's getting followed by this guy. You start to hear the nervousness in his voice, and at some point he takes a firm stance and yells at the guy to get back. And the guy doesn't respond to this well at all.
Get back. Get back, bro. Huh? I'm telling you to get back. Yelling at me. I'm not trying to fuck with you, bro. Bro, I'm not trying to fuck with you. You piece of shit. Bro, I'm trying to fuck with you. Yelling at me.
See, look, we can't, as a man, you cannot, when a nigga try to get on that with you, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's not the smart thing, especially nowadays, to be out here just fighting and being in altercations because you don't know what the next man is capable of. You don't know what the next person is capable of. You know what I'm saying? Shit is scary out here. That nigga could pull a knife on you. It don't look like he got a gun, but he could pull a gun on you. You know what I'm saying? Shit really is scary. But at the same time, you gotta defend yourself. This nigga is following you. He is following you as you're walking down the street, talking about some tip. My nigga, he has to get handled. Something has to happen. Nigga can't follow you home. Like what?
I paid for my food. Bro,
not happening.
I paid for my food, bro. Piece of shit. I paid for my food. How the fuck you didn't think you make money?
Table to sticks ramen. That owner. If I'm saying, playing both sides. The owner out here standing on business. That nigga wants his tip. I don't know how much I don't know what the gratuity is. I don't know if it's 1%, 2%, all the way to 50. Knowing this nigga, it might be a 15% gratuity. And that nigga is he's standing on business trying to collect that. I'm telling you, God put certain people in certain situations, and he protects certain people from certain situations. I ain't never been in no situation like this where a nigga is on that about a tip. Something that's not even mandatory. You know what I'm saying? It's a social thing that a lot of fucking stupid people made a social. I don't know who came up with this. I fucking hate tip culture. I hate it. If you're paying for something, you're paying for the service. Why do I have to pay for the service then give you more money for the service that I paid for? Why am I doing that? Who said this is a good idea? Who? I genuinely want to know. I might look it up after this video because that's genuinely the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
How my staff supposed to make money, huh?
Your staff is supposed to make fucking money by, you know what I'm saying, your business. The business is supposed to pay. It's not my job. It's not my job to make sure that your staff is paid. My nigga, it's not. It's your job. You know what I'm saying? Lower them ramen prices, get more heads in the door. More heads in the door means more business. More business means more money. More money means you can pay your employees. These niggas don't work for me. I wish a nigga would come at me on that. How is my staff supposed to get paid? Nigga, you open your pockets. My nigga, you need to be tipping them. The fuck? I'm supposed to feed you. One tip from me is supposed to feed your staff? What the fuck them niggas? Fuck you and them niggas. I don't give a fuck.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a crazy statement. It's your staff.
I'm saying.
Huh? Bro, we can solve this. Chill, bro.
Scared. He's scared as hell.
We can solve this. Chill, bro.
I already know what a lot of you guys are thinking.
God knows not to put me in these type of situations, because that would have played out very differently.
Now, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but if someone is following you for several blocks, clearly being malicious, cussing at you, threatening you, correct me if I'm wrong, but at a certain point, you should be able to legally shoot this person, or at least...
Nigga said shoot. You ain't gotta shoot this man. But you gotta give this nigga a reason to stop following you. I'm telling you, I'm handling him easily. You're not following me for 8 blocks. Talk about some tip. Tip it is you're not. It's just not happening. He's getting handled one way or the other, bro.
You know, fight back somehow. Now, for anyone wondering what happened to the owner of this restaurant, all I'm gonna say is he should have let that tip go.
That was just a shame, you know. Bring shame to my wife as a husband, you know, as an owner, you know, at the same time, you know, to my mom and dad.
The video ignited a debate online about tipping and led some people to leave messages on the sidewalk in shock, calling the business Table to Sticks anti-black.
Table to Sticks, how can I help you?
Hey, food, okay?
I'm sorry?
Let me order some food, stupid.
The backlash has forced them to stop taking calls, deactivate their social media, while Yelp has paused any new reviews.
Now, I'm not saying what the restaurant owner did is okay by any means, but I definitely feel like he was having a moment. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, especially because he's a business owner. He was probably under a lot of pressure, and that was kind of his breaking point. And one thing that's a pretty good indicator of when someone is being genuine is how they go about taking accountability. And it seemed like this guy took full responsibility and didn't try to do any like blame shifting. And I'm also going to give the victim the benefit of the doubt because we never know if that was his last. You never know people's situations. I've had moments where I bought food and I couldn't afford to tip. And for all the people who perpetuate and believe in the stereotype that black men are violent, I just want to say that this situation shows you that it's not all of us. Now, obviously, there's a much bigger problem that needs to be addressed here, which is American tipping culture. So today we're going to talk about tipping culture and how it went from being a gesture to an unspoken rule. To understand how America basically came up with a second way to tax its citizens, we got to go back to the 20th century. In the 1800s, tipping was actually considered un-American. People thought it created an unfair class system. But after the Civil War, restaurants, especially those who didn't want to pay black workers, started encouraging tips so they can avoid paying their workers their wages. And then fast forward to 1938, the Fair Labor Standards Act was passed. It basically allowed businesses to pay tipped workers below minimum wage, assuming that tips would make up the difference. And to this day, some states still allow a $2.13 base wage for tipped workers. $2.13.
As a workers' rights lawyer, I can confirm that is true. This is called a tipped minimum wage, and under federal law, employers are allowed to pay $2.13 per hour so long as the employee's tips meet the full minimum wage. That means the employer gets to take your tips and use it to meet their minimum wage obligation.
Now let's compare American tipping culture to the rest of the world. In Japan, tipping is basically offensive. You're expected to do your job with pride. You try to tip your sushi chef, and they're probably gonna feel insulted. In France, a small service fee is already included, and if you leave a couple coins, great, they're appreciated, but no one's gonna give you side eyes if you don't. In Australia, servers earn a livable wage regardless of tips. So
and that's my thing, right? With these jobs, we need to make livable wages a thing. Like, you should never be in a position where you're solely reliant on tips, like paying for your life. Like, we've gotten so far away from the plot that we're allowing these companies, these business owners to fucking, you know what I'm saying, get away with the base minimum wage, $2. I don't understand that. That shit is so dumb to me. Like, I can pay you $2.13 just as long as the tips that you're not guaranteed. Like, tips are not guaranteed. I can pay you $2.13 to do a job just as long as you get tips. Essentially, that's what he just said. Why is that okay? Why is nobody questioning that? Why is nobody challenging that? Why are we constantly keeping obviously stupid traditions, stupid laws, stupid bills in place, and you're keeping niggas broke intentionally? I think that's what it is. And that's one thing that I will never understand. Me personally, I would never be a server. I would never be anything that where my livelihood relies on, is a nigga gonna be nice enough to me today to give me a tip. I would never work a job like that. These niggas need to start paying their employees livable wage. Everybody needs to, like, if you have a job, you should be making a livable wage. Livable.
A tip is more like a pleasant surprise instead of an obligation. In Germany, if you round up the bill, maybe leave like 5-10%, it's cool. But see, it's mostly in America where you find the fed up public versus the entitled, a lot of times desperate workers. And that's part of the reason why we have this rising conflict between frequent restaurant goers or people who use any service that includes tipping, and the other side, which is tipped workers. I've seen a multitude of videos of tipped workers getting online and complaining about how they served a large party and the party didn't tip enough and how they regret putting in all that effort.
I asked my table for a tip after they were gonna stiff me, and I don't care how much hate I get for this. It's a Saturday night. I'm being told I'm gonna get a party of 16, which I said, great, bring it on, let's go.
My nigga, it's your job. It's your job. You were told that you're getting a party of 16. You want to know why? Because you woke up that day and clocked into your fucking job. So whether it's a table of 16, whether it's a table of 8, whether it's one person that you're taking care, it don't fucking matter. Like, y'all don't understand. I genuinely get pissed off at tip culture because you got some people who like to tip shame. You're shaming somebody for not wanting to tip when it's not our job to make sure that you have extra money in your pockets. My nigga, if I go out and I wanna go to Chili's and I want the triple, I don't give a fuck. You're my waiter, right? You're the reason why you're there taking my order. I don't give a fuck if I ordered the triple dipper, two burgers on top of that, a side of salsa, some chips, some guac, the moon, the stars. I don't give a fuck. I'm ordering that shit. You're going to bring me my shit, and if I want to tip you out of the generously, I will do so. But let's not try to make it a moral obligation. People are trying to shame niggas into tipping as if that's a mandatory. It's not a mandatory. That's one thing I hate. People are trying to make this shit mandatory. I will never go to an establishment that tries to make you tip. Imagine, like, you're paying for something. You're going out to a restaurant, you're paying for food. You know what I'm saying? You go to the barbershop, you're paying for a haircut. You're going to the salon, you're planning to get your hair done, braided, whatever. Nail salon. You're paying a service. So why do you have to pay a service and then pay an additional fee on top of that? Not everybody is having it like that. Y'all ever thought about that? Like, people get on these platforms, they love to run the TikTok and make these videos. I'm like, you say that you're not shaming people for not tipping, but essentially that's what you're doing. You're making a video complaining about a party at 16. What if that party at 16? What if all the money that they had was to just make an event happen? You don't know their financial circumstances, but it is not their job to make sure that you're covered financially. No, you need to go walk your ass in that office and ask your manager, your supervisor, whoever the fuck, to give you more money, to give you a base that's acceptable. And if they're not not willing to give you a base that's acceptable, I think you need to find another job. There's plenty of jobs out here where you can get some money and not have to rely on tips from people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is so corny to me.
Easy money, so I thought. Okay? So the party of 16 gets sat in my section. They take up 3 tables in my section. So when you get sat at a party, you usually get skipped in rotation a few times because you're dealing with a big party. I get to the table, I introduce myself, I do my whole spiel. Before I'm finished even speaking, one guy's like, whoa, hey, stop. He said, hold on. He said, you're not going to talk to them, you're going to talk to me. I'm going to order everybody's food and then I'll give you the drinks. I said, Okay, perfect. What are we having a drink? He said, no, I'm going to give you the food first, and then I'm going to give you the drinks. I said, okay, perfect. What will you be having? Okay. I said, perfect. I've sent in the order for you. He said, and make it quick because we have somewhere to be.
Now, see, look, this is a little different. My problem, I don't, obviously, if you go into establishments, if you plan on tipping or not, you should always be respectful. I don't know if she's telling the truth. I don't know the other side of the story, nor do I care. But it seems like she was being disrespected. If you at least not planning on tipping, be respectful in the establishment. You know what I'm saying? Don't make that person's day harder than what it has to be. You know what I'm saying? Like this a whole different situation right here.
That's where I almost lost my shit. Because how do you come out to a restaurant, order 7 omelets, and tell me to hurry up?
So the lady goes on to explain how they provided excellent service, the food came out super quick, and she made sure that they had everything they needed. Which, don't get me wrong, that's nice and all, but that's what you're supposed to do. That should be the standard. So after her patience and providing them with excellent service, this is what happened.
When it came to pay, he pays me cash. He gives me $321, which means no tip. And I was like, okay. So I went to the table. There's no tip at the table, anything. I said, okay, I'm going to go ask him.
And see, that's where I kind of got like, that's like you're borderline mimicking the homeless. You know who asks for money? You know who asks for tips? The niggas who on street corners, every fucking highway, every intersection. They seem to be everywhere nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Bums, hobos, homeless people. I'm not trying to, talk down on them. But those are the type of people who are out here with the cardboard signs asking for money. Those are the people that you want to be associated with. You're asking a pedestrian who paid for their meal, can I have a tip?
So I went up to him. I said, excuse me, sir. You only gave me $321. I just wanted to ensure that this was accurate. You're not going to leave any gratuity. I just wanted to make sure everything came out to your expectations. You enjoyed your food. Everything was to your liking. And, I just want to make sure. He said, well, I didn't know it was mandatory. I said, no. It's not mandatory. I just wanted to ensure that this was accurate, that nobody took the tip off the table or anything like that. This man pulls out a $50 bill, gives it to me, kind of like, here's your tip and shut the fuck up, get out my face type shit, which I don't give a fuck, because how dare you?
You took it though. You took, like, you came to this man, and like I said, be respectful, guys, women, people, children, whoever is watching. You go to these establishments, restaurants, you be respectful no matter what. You know what I'm saying? But you made this video for what? Because you ended up taking the $50. I guarantee you did.
You go out to eat in a party of 16 on a tab of $320 and not tip.
Now look, I don't agree with the man being rude to her, but when it comes to tipping, I really feel like it's a case by case, person by person type of thing, because you're not legally required to tip. And then there's another aspect where people start shaming you for the amount that you tip. Like, these restaurants and these servers expect you to tip more than 20% of the meal's value. And not gonna lie, that's kind of crazy in this economy, especially when you think about the people who sometimes have to eat out. I mean, if they eat out a couple times and they tip every time, it's gonna get to a point where the amount that they tipped could have paid for another meal.
My nigga, you know what really just popped into my head that really just fucking pissed me off, right? It's the waiters. Like, the waiters are the ones that are asking for tips. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But if you get to the restaurant, they ask you, what drink do you want? You tell them the drink. They bring you a drink. They write down the food that they want, and what do they do with the order? They take it to the fucking kitchen. They're not going back there and cooking the food. It's not like you're taking the order, cooking the food, preparing the food, bringing the food out. You know, you're not doing that. You're writing something down on a piece of paper and taking it to the niggas that are really doing the work. And that kind of, like, I kind of feel bad because it really just popped in my head while I'm watching this video that I'm saying the chefs and the cooks aren't coming out there to the floor and asking niggas for tips. I'm pretty sure, like, some places they pay their chefs and their cooks well, but there's a lot of, like, go to an IHOP. I know them niggas are not getting paid the best, but they're not after every single pancake that these niggas flip on a plate and that's going to a table. They're not going to that table and say, "Can I have tip? Can I have tip? Can I have a tip? You got a tip?" No, they're not doing that. But it's these fucking waiters you know what I'm saying, you're busting tables. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You're working a job. We get it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying you don't work hard. Nobody's saying your job is easy. Nobody is saying that, but at the same time, your job is your job. And you're not doing more, you're not doing less. You're not cooking the food. You're not really doing anything other than putting a fucking pen to a paper and taking that paper to the niggas who are if you have no cooks, you have no business. If you have no chefs, you have no business. If you have no bartenders, you have no business. Like, those are the people who, when I'm saying tips, I still think tipping is crazy, but if you're going to give a tip, give it to niggas who deserve it. Those the niggas that are actually putting in pain on these plates. You know what I'm saying? Those are the niggas that deserve tips, not these fucking waiters. Not these fucking baristas. That's why I don't go to. That's another tangent. Let's continue. Come on.
And if you're tipping like 20% plus, all it takes is like 4 or 5 times eating out, and you would have paid for a whole nother meal with the amount that you tipped. And I'd also like to point out that this 20% tip is expected regardless of service quality, or shoot, even service to begin with. Like, they could just be handing you your food and they'll expect this fat tip.
Pause.
And don't even get me started with the self-serve type of restaurants. Like, sir, ma'am, I picked this muffin up off the counter. You guys don't offer table service, no refills, just muffins. Shoot, at this point, you should be tipping me. And we aren't talking enough about the new meta for tipping, iPads.
These screens are designed to make you spend more money. Compared to a tip jar, on-screen prompts turn tipping or not tipping into an active choice, not a passive choice. Plus, the user interface design on these tip POS systems can influence people to tip more than they typically would.
And see, and I feel like little slick shit like this, like if you go to Starbucks, you go to Dutch Bros, shit like I try to go out of my way to avoid these places, like places like that where they get to spinning that iPad around, and then they hit you with the same line every time. Like they don't tell you, but they tell you, oh, it's not required at all. It's not required at all. Bullshit. Why are we looking at the screen? It's 18%, 20%, 25%, 30%, big as hell. Custom amount, big as hell. And then that little ass lonely box in the bottom left talk about skip. My nigga, that should be the main button. These companies are so fucking slick with it nowadays. If I'm going through the drive-thru and I'm seeing tablets, I'm turning around. If you're trying to take my order with a tablet, I'm good. I'm overly good. I don't want nothing to do with it. You want to know why? Because after they get to doing their part, they going to flip that motherfucker around, put it in your face and say, oh, you're not obligated. Don't feel obligated. Like, fuck out of here, man.
Simply by increasing the percentages of the default tip option. According to this study by Cornell, setting the default options higher than 25% caused fewer people to tip. But overall tip revenue increased because customers who decided to tip still gave more. This kind of manipulation of the user is what we call dark design patterns in user experience design. There are also cases where the tips don't make it back to the workers.
You'll go buy some coffee, buy some food, whatever, and then after you get your food, they'll flip the iPad and then you see a screen. And the screen will show you several options of which you can tip by percent. Most of the time, the least you can tip is like 18%. Sometimes it's like 20 to 25%. And keep in mind, they make these tipping icons huge and then they put no tip all the way at the bottom.
Literally.
And it's usually super small. And besides the no tip, there's usually a button to adjust the tip. And it's little tricks like these that these establishments use to pressure you into tipping. Because
like it's almost like them niggas is calling you broke. Like these little tablets with the tipping and shit is like, we know you got it, nigga. We know you got it. Let me get some additional funds. Digging all in my pockets. Your pocket watching me. Like, what if what if I just wanted a quick little drink? I'm on my last $10 to $15 for the week until Friday, till I get paid. Not only do I gotta fucking spend $4 or $5 for a small or medium beverage, but you want $1.80 on top of that. My nigga, you didn't invent the drink. You didn't come up with the ice. You ain't out here making the flavors. Motherfucker, you're following a script. You want me to tip you for following the script? Bring me my fucking drink and go ahead, man.
Because a lot of times when you're paying for your food, especially if you got a line of people waiting behind you, you don't want to press no tip because then you'll get a death stare from the worker. And you also don't want to press adjust tip because it's going to take so long to adjust the tip and you got people waiting behind you.
Never
so all
cared.
you're really left with is pressing one of the options on the screen, which usually ends up with you tipping more than you wanted to tip to begin with. And now if this is a sit down dining restaurant and you sat down and dined, if that tip isn't fat enough, they might stare you down, they might chase you down, or shoot, you might end up on their TikTok.
Okay. $320, right? Minimum 15% gratuity would have.
And they say if you don't, I just noticed if you don't have money to tip, don't go out to eat. Bitch, who the fuck are you to tell me what I would? Who are you to tell somebody if you don't have money to tip, don't go out to eat? Like, is this the message that we're spreading to the world? Like, if you don't have enough money to tip, you're not deserving to go out and get yourself a meal. Imagine that.
Been $48. So he basically just gave me the minimum, which is fine. But if you don't got money to go to tip, don't even go out to eat.
Who the f do you think you are? That is a crazy statement to make. I can't lie. People need to stop making it seem like it's illegal to not tip. Tipping is completely optional. And I'm saying this as someone who always tips. The only time I haven't tipped is when I received horrible customer service or if I was just down bad financially. Like, it's genuinely scary how tipping has become almost like a second tax for American citizens. And the crazier part is people are starting to use this tipping system in other professions as well. And some of them are using it to scam people.
My grandma almost got scammed for $400 by who? A plumber. A plumber came to her house. Okay, the total was $2,000.
Y'all niggas got the plumbers trying to do tip services. Like, something gotta change, bro. Like, something gotta change. Like, sooner or later, bro, everybody is going to be asking for it. Everybody's homeless. That's how I see it. My nigga, if you're asking for a tip, you're homeless to me. From this day forth. If the word's tip, if you're begging for a tip, bro, you know what? It's this yogurt shop, like frozen yogurt place, right? Not too far from me. Go there from time to time. Like, you're literally, you grab the cup yourself. You go to each machine, whatever flavor you want. You have to go to it yourself. Pull the lever yourself. Make it all nice and make it look good in the cup yourself. You go to the toppings. Guess who's putting the toppings on? Nigga, you. You might as well give me the fucking apron and tell me to clock in right now. I'm doing all the work. But by the time you get to go pay for it, the only thing that they do is take it from you and put it on a fucking scale. And when you're ready to pay, guess what? Guess what you're paying on? A fucking tablet. You know what that tablet gonna say? Oh, you want 18%, 20%, 30%? Get the fuck out of here. Like, shit like this is getting crazy where I got to make my own frozen yogurt. I got to put the toppings on it myself. You might as well let me weigh the shit and POS myself at that point. Like, anybody's asking for tips now. Anybody.
He flipped over an iPad and gave her an iPad 15, 20, and 25%. My grandma, God bless her heart, I love her so much, but she clicked 20%. Thank God my dad was there. He was like, hey, what's this extra $400 charge? And the plumber had the balls to say, oh, that's the gratuity. Are you kidding me? Like, not only is that crazy and should be almost illegal, but how is a plumber gonna flip the iPad over and say, yo, gratuity?
And they do it. You see the smile that we paused? They do it with the biggest of smiles. They have no shame turning that iPad around. They have no shame. I'm telling you. If you're going somewhere and you're about to pay for a service, if there's a fucking iPad within a 5 feet radius, a 5 centimeter radius, I don't give a fuck. Run away. Run away. Because not only are you going to be paying for that service, but they're going to expect you to leave a hefty tip. You know what I'm saying? They're going to expect that. Run away. And this, I ain't gonna lie, that plumber kind of need his ass whooped because he tried to take advantage of the elderly. That's one thing I don't fuck with. These old people don't know nothing about this new technology shit and these tipping and iPads and all that shit. They don't know nothing about that. And I feel like that plumber knew that. That nigga need his ass whooped. You allow somebody to tip you $400? You ain't even do. I guarantee that nigga ain't even do the craziest of work. He didn't. You allowed an old elderly person to try to tip you $400, knowing all you did was fucking change the toilet seat. That nigga need his ass whooped.
Now, I know some people are going to try to argue that that wasn't a scam, and sure, you might be right, but he was still taking advantage of the elderly. Because anyone who isn't super late in their years and is completely there can obviously see how crazy a $400 tip is. And for all the people who might be going out over the weekend, drinking, and going to some of these restaurants, be careful because they try to scam people too. This restaurant almost got away with charging this couple $70 for a slice of pizza. And although this couple avoided getting scammed, I'm pretty sure other people didn't.
The guy was basically like, oh, you didn't mean to tip? And my husband was like, no, you didn't even show me the screen. I was never shown a screen to tip. Like, what are you talking about? And then my husband started getting pissed because he's like, are you trying to play me like I'm stupid? Like, you're saying that I added this tip. I didn't add this tip. So then the guy started getting red and flustered and stuff because like obviously he was caught in adding this tip to the bill. He was like trying to finesse the drunk people that were coming in too, because he was like adding a tip in manually for them. Like the slices would be like $10 and he would be like, how about $35 for a tip? How about $20?
Niggas are coercing drunk people for tips. Like, are we really that down bad? Are businesses really that down bad? That you know what I'm saying? If you're open late, and if you're a piece of place, you open late night. If you near like a club or some shit, you near a bar, and niggas is coming in there just trying to get something to eat, and the niggas is sitting behind it. How about a $35 tip? You look generous. How about 40 for a fucking slice of pizza? Like niggas need to get slapped. I'm telling you. Niggas need to get slapped.
And these people would be like, okay, fine, 25. I'm like,
okay, fine.
This dude is just finessing these drunk people.
And just the interesting side note, studies show that tipping is heavily influenced by attractiveness, race, gender, and even whether the server draws a smiley face on the receipt. So if you thought tipping was a fair meritocracy, just know you're wrong. It's more like a shallow popularity contest. And look, I'm not here to blame the people or blame the workers.
I'm blaming the people. Y'all niggas is making this okay. Y'all letting Starbucks fucking, you know what I'm saying? Y'all letting Starbucks, Dutch Bros, fucking barbers, now plumbers. Y'all letting Chili's, Applebee's, IHOP. Y'all letting all these corporations make money off your backs. And you know what they're saying to you? Hey, I can't pay you enough, but guess the next everyday person got you. I know what I'm saying, I can't raise your base pay to 18, 19, 20. But that nigga that there, you just took his order. That nigga got something for you. He got money for you. Go ask him. Go ask him. I know that nigga got. He here, right? He ordering food. He must got it. Y'all letting these niggas get away with that right in y'all face. Like, I don't.
It's these businesses that are setting their wages so low that their workers need to rely on these aggressive tipping tactics to pay their bills. Now, a lot of these workers are arguing that if no one pays tips or, you know, a good enough tip, these businesses are going to start putting what they would have earned from tips into the price of the food. And to be honest, I prefer that. That way, everyone is guaranteed their pay and it doesn't feel like anyone is forced to have this transactional encounter.
And wait, that don't really make sense either, because food, you go out to like restaurants, food is kind of expensive nowadays anyway. And I hope that's not the reason that, like, you know what I'm saying, you go to Chili's, you get a good deal on some shit, because that's not really right. I'd rather you fucking make the price of the food what it is, so that everybody gets their fair share of the pie. Everybody gets their fair, you know what I'm saying, their fair compensation. Don't rely on the everyday person who's coming in to just get some food to cover your expenses. That's not right.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty obvious to see when a server is forcing themselves to put up with you. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should America continue its tipping system, or should we ban tipping? And do you think it'll have a negative or a positive outcome?
Hey, look, my nigga. That's the end of the video, y'all. But I'm gonna leave y'all on one thing with this tipping culture shit. Don't ever feel bad. Don't ever feel obligated. You know what I'm saying? Tipping is not mandatory. If you want to do it, do it. If you're in a good situation where you can financially bless the next man, do it. But don't ever feel obligated. Don't let these iPad warriors put that shit in your face and try to make you feel bad or make you feel guilty about not tipping. Don't let these waiters who do when I say the bare minimum, you're doing the bare minimum. You don't do the most work in the restaurant. I guarantee you don't do more than the cook. You don't do more than the supervisor. You don't even do more than the fucking janitors who got to clean up. You don't. Don't let these people try to shame you or talk about if you don't got money to tip, don't go out to eat. Who the fuck are you to tell me what I can do with my money that you clearly want? You clearly want my money. Like, fuck out of here. That's the video. It's your boy RushMoreRick. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Fucking subscribe to the channel. Binge the rest of the videos on the channel. We out of here. Deuces. That was embarrassing. I'm sorry.